I'm just going to take a moment and talk about those alternate reality games one more time. This one particular game called The Beast was influenced by a 1997 movie called The Game and the Beatles' Paul is Dead phenomenon. And then in 2007 there was a very successful alternate reality game where people who were plugged into it were searching for clues in all different genres: clothing, music, internet. And in doing this, the puppet masters, I guess, increased this underground resistant movement membership by about 3.5 million. And then last night, Pedley Life 1 sent me something that somebody shared with her. There are actually two different versions of Smooth Criminal. One is from Moonwalker and one is from Bad. And if you were to Google and get the lyrics from both, you would see that there is a slight difference. But what she's saying is, in this particular video that she sent me, which I'll post a link to, he sings Dr.Murray Resus-Citation sounding Heartbeats-Intimidations. It's supposed to be mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, but it does sound like Dr. Murray in this particular video. Here are some questions I would ask anybody. First and foremost, about this guy, Dave Rabbit, who supposedly did a YouTube video reviewing the This Is It movie like a few days before the movie came out. And from what I understand, all the magazines and newspaper reviewers didn't get to preview the movie until a few hours before the public did. So how did this unknown named Dave Rabbit actually see the movie a few days in advance? All that filming of the special effects in the This Is It movie that was done at Culver Studios, that was titled The Dome Project, and I'm just curious why. And then Jermaine Jackson at the This Is It premiere made the statement, "This is it, but it's not really it." But it is. What did that mean? And then that day of the premiere of This Is It, Larry King had on his website a blog that was entitled, "Will Michael Jackson appear at his premiere?" Something like that. And speaking of Larry King, he mentioned to that other late night talk show host, Craig Ferguson, he said something like, "Well, what do you think about this Michael Jackson?" And, the other talk show host kind of looked at him like, and Larry King said, "He's still dead." And let's not even go to some of the weird things Joe Jackson said, like when Larry King asked him how he's doing, and he's like, "Oh, I'm doing just fine." And he's like, "Well, about your son who just died," type of thing. And showing up at that award show where he decided to open his mouth and promote his new recording company with no remorse at all about his son just dying. As far as the actual reporting of his death goes, with all the paparazzi that's usually around this type of thing, why was there only that one photo that, everybody is pretty much convinced wasn't even taken on that day? And why were there still Christmas wreaths hung on the gates of his home? He has help. He could have had them taken down. Here it was either 6 months early or 6 months late. There was that transporting the corpse in an open-doored helicopter. First of all, why was he transported in a helicopter? Why was it an open-doored helicopter where people could video the inside? Where supposedly some people saw the body sit up. And then at the hospital, a nurse told non-family members that Michael Jackson was dead, and then non-family members chose to tell his children, knowing that the family was on their way. So why would a nurse risk breaking HIPAA laws just because he was famous? And let's talk about the fact that he was famous, and the hospital wasn't shut down that day. There was nobody that wants to talk about, I was getting an MRI the day they brought Michael Jackson in when he was dead. There are no nurses that want to talk about, you should have seen. I mean, it's really kind of unusual that there's nobody that came forward with their story. I think the real question is whether he's dead or he's alive. In the movie, this is it. He refers to, we have 4 years to get this right. Come on, people, let's make a change type of thing. And I'd be willing to help make a change, but I'm not quite sure what he's referring to. Is he referring to that whole 2012 doomsday prediction, or is he referring to the end of President Obama's term in office? I don't know what he's referring to, so how can I sign up for it?